Welcome to World of Ability. My name is Sue Roskoff, and we are so excited to be here. We've got some great things coming your way today, some fun friends that are joining us, and some big news that's from this past week. I am, again, thrilled to be here. We are here every Saturday between 1 and 3 Central Time. So anyone is welcome to join us. If you ever want to join us live in Zoom with us, that would be so awesome. Whether you want to participate or if you want to even be in the audience, just to be able to be here, that'd be really cool. I would love that. So without further ado, I am going to go ahead and bring in Miss Emily Golmer to do an introduction of our first guest. So Emily, over to you.
Our first person is out of Arizona with an organization that has these special mushrooms that are put in like pet treats. And I believe there are things for humans as well. But I'll let her tell you more about that. So over to you, Debbie.
Thank you, Emily. Appreciate the introduction. Yes, my name is Debbie Hayes. I want you to think for a minute about your pets and how you love it when they snuggle up with you. That's what we do, is we work with pets and with people to make sure that everybody can live the longest, best life. Obviously, we want our pets to feel secure around us. We want them to feel our unconditional love, just like we have unconditional love for them. But we also want them to live as long as possible, but a good, healthy life. And we do have examples of that happening from pets who took the mushroom. This is the Coriolis versicolor mushroom, and it is the most potent of all the supplemental mushrooms. So if you want the best for yourself and your pets, let me know, and I would love to just educate you more on things about the mushroom. So thank you. And I was saying in the other segment that we did, that one thing that I really have not pursued but would love to pursue is a way to get the mushrooms to people that have service animals, because those are animals that it is really important for them to live a long time because they're looking after someone. But just because they're pets and because they do service. And I do want to say that I am Facebook friends with a fellow from the police department in Plymouth, Massachusetts, and they taught one of their service dogs to salute. And it was on LinkedIn, and it is just the greatest picture. The dog sitting there saluting his trainer.
I love that.
It was just great.
That's amazing. I love it. You'd be amazed what they can. Animals are so smart, smarter than we realize, I think. And they know when you're taking care of them. They know when you care. They know. They absolutely do. So, and I know what you have is able to help our pets. So that it's just a matter of people knowing that this product exists and that it really can make a difference in the life and longevity of our fur babies. So, and I know you've got lots of different stories of success and things that have happened with pets that you're aware of. Do you want to pick a story to share with us?
Yes, and I'm sure you've heard it before, but Zenta at the age of 14 was a hot mess, and she was a husky. Her paw pads were peeling. She had autoimmune disease. Her eyes were fogged over. They figured she probably could not see. She hid under the table because she didn't want her human parents petting her because it hurt, and she didn't want her brothers, who happened to be puppies. Of course, they wanted to play, and they didn't understand the fact that she hurt. So she just cowered under the table. They took her to the vet, and the vet said, you've given her a great life. You shouldn't have to feel bad about putting her down. So they actually made an appointment to euthanize her. When they went home, they put a little note on Facebook. They were going to be sorry to see Zenta go. And they had a friend that called and said, can I come over? And that friend happened to be the very first marketing person for Pet Club 247. And she said, would you be open to giving Zenta mushrooms? And human mom Gail said, no, we're not that kind of people. and the gal said, well, they're not that kind of mushrooms either. They're just supplements. They just happen to be mushrooms. So they considered Zenta in doggy hospice. They gave her what she wanted, and I guess she wanted a lot of those mushrooms, the treats, the first few days, because on the fourth day, her human dad Kurt sat down on the couch, and she jumped up beside him, and she hadn't jumped on the couch for a year or two. So isn't that amazing?
That is amazing.
But then she was sitting there looking at him like, "Dad, pet me," and he was able to touch her, and it didn't bother her either. So, yeah, she lived another 4.5 years. She's definitely the poster child, but she exemplified what I was saying. I mean, she played with the other dogs. She ran in the lake, went on long walks with them, and was pain free. After the first month, they took her off of all of her vet prescribed meds.
Wow.
First month.
Amazing. So there's so much potential here, and that was a perfect example of, you don't know what you don't know. This type of thing is possible for our pets, and I know there's human products available as well. So if it's working that well for them, I can only imagine the difference it can make in the life of all of us, right? So, amazing. Can you please share what your website is?
Yes. It's debspets.com. You just type in Debs Pets, that's my personal branding.com.
Perfect. debspets.com. Awesome. So you can go there, you can check that all out, and learn for yourself what exactly you're hearing. You can see it, you can figure out what is available, and feel free to reach out to Deb and get any questions you have answered. And oh my gosh, I love stories like that. That makes me so happy.
Also, I am doing Zooms to educate people on the mushrooms a couple of times a week. So if you want to get in touch with me, you can text 520-419-5922, and I can give you that week's schedule. We do them a couple times a week, and they're only about 20 minutes, so it's not a lot of your time to learn about something that could be very valuable for your life or for your pet's life.
Awesome. Actually, can you give me the number again? I'll write it in the chat so that it can be visible here.
520-419-5922.
520-419, what was the last part?
5922.
5922. Sorry, I typoed in the middle and then I lost it.
So yeah, text me for the schedule and for the link.
Perfect. I got that in here to text you for the schedule and the link. Beautiful. Awesome. Thank you so much, Debbie. I love that. We do have a couple more guests in here as well. I'm going to go ahead and have them come on in and join our conversation here as well. So actually, I'm going to pass it over to Emily, though. Can you do introductions, please?
Okay, so let's see. Our next person is also from Arizona and is a teacher and does accounting. So bring Derek in here. Welcome, Derek. Introduce yourself.
Oh, so I'm Derek Espalas of Tucson, Arizona. Arizona's taking over your show. I like it.
We're gonna get international in just a minute here.
Yeah, that's true. So I do accounting. Really great this week. I met someone who's just starting their business and has no idea what to do. So I got to have breakfast with them, and it's just a great feeling to get someone who has no idea. They're a massage therapist, so they know what they're doing on that. But to be able to help someone figure out the business side. And he got to what makes me a little different with the accounting is I really pay attention to feelings, because a lot of times we try to ignore what the connection between money and how we feel at home is so strong. And for himself, he said he felt very uncomfortable with business because he has issues accepting money and paying money. So I told him before we left, before we went our separate ways, that until he learns that he deserves to receive money for the value he gives, I will believe in him. And I will carry that belief of his value until he's ready to do it. And so then he gave me a hug and he said, "You're not a normal accountant, are you?" I'm like, "I'm not a normal anything." So, but that
How
it's
many
so
people out there
important,
hug their accountant? Oh my goodness.
right? So just I've gone through that journey myself. And so I don't want people to have to feel alone and to wander. Like I grew up in a family business, so I know how to navigate that. And I went to fancy business school, so I know how to, navigate that. So, rely on me to help you through your journey is how I look at it. Is I'm here to help. I have a skill set that a lot of people don't want in knowing how to do accounting. So, do what you do best because supporting you is what I do best. And so that's what I look to do a lot.
Awesome. Actually, that's a tagline on my business card. It says, "Do what you love." So it
Yeah,
sounds like that you've got that going. I
yeah,
love it.
yeah. So and not many people love accounting. So let
We're,
me
but
do.
we are so glad that you do.
There are
Awesome.
days. There are days. Like, why am I doing this? But
We all have those days, and that's okay.
yeah. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, we do have one more guest here. I would love to give her in
Yay.
and join this conversation as well. So, Emily, I'm going to pass it back your way again.
All right, our last person, we met, well, all three people we met through the Happy Neighborhood Project. But we met this next guest, she was living in Hawaii, but has now moved south into Mexico, but is an author, app developer, sign language interpreter. So, Marianne, why don't you come in here and say a little bit about your project and what you're doing?
Well, hola and aloha, everybody. Yes, I'm Marianne of Waikiki. I'm the author of the Acts of Kindness series, featuring 200 folk man as puppets. My books are written for animation movies with sign language characters and soundtrack by Lucy Lynch and The Perfect Wave. And I had the opportunity to travel to Tucson, Arizona last weekend. I
Wow.
had never been to Tucson, Arizonia. I had a friend here, Captain Jeff from Alaska, who's a regional director with Pacific Star Seafood, who is down here for the winter. He's putting his sailboat. He put his sailboat in. So did Captain Robert put their sailboats in the water. And Jeff had to travel to Arizona to help his children in Oregon purchase a home. And so they had comfortable living in Oregon. So I asked him if I could ride up with him to renew my 6-month visa down here. And I had to, my iWatch broke, or it just stopped working after 5 years. And Senior Citizen Jim gave it to me. He was the one that I swam with out in Pokai Bay in Hawaii when Emily and Kurt were talking to me. And anyway, got to go to AT&T and they upgraded my phone and I got a new iWatch on installments and I got to say who I was. And the guys, the managers were like, "Oh my God, you made these app games." And I'm like, "Yeah." So when you're sitting in your office here, go online and play them. He's like, "Oh, we're going to give you 5-star reviews. This is so awesome." So within that hour, they're uploading my phone. I'm talking story to them and showing, the products and everything. So I'm real happy to have communication and have my iWatch because I like to walk and swim and know what I'm doing. And so we got that handled and took care of business. I got to stay at a nice trailer park with his cousins. They were so hospitable. I laughed so much with their family. And I got to share the book, Underwater Acts of Kindness, because one of the cousins actually is a helpful educator with a autistic child. And the other cousin has an autistic child who is 24 years old. So I gave them some homework to read my book while I was there. And she loved it. And so the next morning, I stayed there 2 mornings and for breakfast, they were asking me all these questions and, do they really make aquariums under the water for the fish? And I said, well, I don't know. But I said, who knows? Because Elon Musk is developing something. But it is kind of a fictional story because it was written for the Animal Planet TV show Tank Guys. And they build a wellness tank for all the sick fish because of the garbage patch. And not only that, the pollution that's happening around the world. So it was a great opportunity. So after they took us out for breakfast, I got the opportunity to go to the Tucson Walmart. Okay. Now I know we have a little Mexico Walmart down here, but don't get me wrong, I really haven't gone out because of the heat wave down here or just transportation and it was just a great feeling to walk around Walmart with my iWatch and count how many steps I'm doing and seeing all the clothing. And then I go, you know what? I'm here and I need to follow up somehow. And so I asked to speak with the managers because I wanted to know, because Walmart does carry my book online and they have the capability just to shelve the Falk Manus puppets. They carry them. And so I wanted to get an update so I can resend my press release kit to them. They won't receive products, which I kind of knew. And we have, the series now. And so it was good information. And then I met another clerk or a person worked there who had a 2-year-old son with autism, spoke with him, another lady too, loved it. And, they did signing at church. So I kind of got to, be the island celebrity at Walmart Tucson. So if you hear the good news, I was there and had a great time and it got me inspired. And my co-writer, Suzanne Sims, went to see her family at Thanksgiving in Phoenix. Now she's south of me in Mexico. And she's like, wow, we can possibly meet up. And I'm like, well, I don't know what our time schedule is because the captain wants to get back. He's got the boat in the water. But I was willing to extend my stay to see if we could work on stuff. But we're going to do that in the next month or so. We're going to be talking next week to rededicate the book to ocean cleanup with Boynton Slat. And we got the books onto Algelita. Algelita is in the back of the book where Captain Moore recognizes the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. They put us on a newsletter for educational books. So that's a progress that we made. And
that's huge.
And Trevor Gibbs helped me upload the Acts of Kindness series YouTube videos. So I wasn't aware there's a YouTube Kids channel. So Trevor and I are meeting on Monday to review all that and to make sure everything's correctly done. And want to review SAMS.gov for disability grants and get Trevor's feedback. And I want to get Kurt Roscoff's feedback so we can start looking at this for 2024. So it was very productive, very fun up in Tucson. I got to see the trailer park, Senior Living 55. And it was a great journey to do that. And again, I got to share the books and stories. So look out Walmart, Tucson, let's make noise. Let's make it happen. Let's get these books and products and services in there. And also Leon McLaughlin, talking with him, we're expecting some sort of funding. He said 30 to 60 days. I will hold him to it. And he's going to introduce me. He's got some marketing people from actually Kraft and Kellogg's. That's going to be helping him with the stores and to market Waterflow the whale. So it's the end of the year. So I'm getting everything all organized and so that we can have everything. I had to updo the covers on the next 2 books. So working with my Fiverr team. And again, we have 10 out of 11 app games that are available, and all classroom teachers in the United States of America can get copies of the books from donorschoose.org. And December 2nd today. So on December 21st is the winter solstice, the beginning of winter, which is the start of Underwater Acts of Kindness. So you want to check it out, and it's on Audible. And yeah, so that was a great fun weekend in Tucson, Arizona. So you never know, I may come back and visit and take the Tufesa bus back, but it was a great opportunity. And Debbie, one of my neighbors, we've had a pass away of Princess, our dog, not my dog, but my neighbor's. It's a street dog that I fed. And we think she got bit by a snake, and she made her transition to dog heaven. So thank you for all your work that you do and service dogs, even though they may not be ours technically, but they are being of service. They're protecting us. These dogs are on the roofs barking in Mexico. And yeah, who let the dogs out, right? It's a big old pan. So anyway, so to our lovely pets, and we're very thankful for all that. And what a great Thanksgiving too. And oh, by the way, tonight I a little bit under the weather here because my new roommate upstairs is a retired hairstylist from Las Vegas. And so she's going to be doing my hair, and I'm going to be having my hair done because we're going in the limo tonight
Ooh.
for a birthday party, and I'm going to be dressing up like Barbie to cater to the birthday girl. And we're going to pick up the captain and his friends. So yeah, I got fun things to do here, and San Carlos, here we are. So, but we're working hard on the Acts of Kindness series, and again, so are you, World of Ability hosts, Sue, Kurt, Broskoff, Emily, Lawrence Wingate, Wingate Studios, Transform You Media, and all our amazing guests that join us. So back to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for all the updates, Marianne. How exciting. I mean, Walmart's big. To be able to get things going with them, that's you're getting in the right direction. I'm actually kind of enjoying the fact that you guys are all in Arizona, or at least you were for a brief time. We got a nice little connecting point going on there. It's been years since when the last time I was in Arizona was probably at least 15 years ago, maybe more like 18 years ago. So it's been a while. Sounds like a party in the making though. Awesome. So, oh gosh, with all the things going on there. Now I want to bring back, I know Derek, you had made a comment earlier about the Chamber of Commerce. I wonder if you could talk about that again, because that I think might be of interest here with a lot of the connecting points with everybody.
Yeah, so it's always been an idea of mine, just because at least here in Tucson, there's, there's the Tucson Chamber, and then there's, the Hispanic Chamber, the Black Chamber, the LGBTQ plus. So there's always, and I'm like, these smaller chambers. But one of my, I mean, I come from a business background, so I usually think the way to change the world is to leverage our consumerism to make demands. And the disability community has quite a bit of money. But one of those things is that we don't get the voice. And so how do we leverage our consumer voice? And I always had this idea of like, why don't we start a disability chamber of commerce? Not only for the consumer side, but there's such a wide gamut of entrepreneurial interest. It's just a lot of people don't know how to start a business. And so I actually posted in a network called Lime Connect, and someone responded, and we had a really good conversation. His name is Zubi Onwuta. He's amazing. He's actually a founder of a company called ThinkZoom, where so for people with visual disabilities, he makes the point that it's difficult to manipulate certain things because you can't see what you're doing. So he created this headset that essentially reads your mind and controls I know it's so there's YouTube videos on it that controls like your phone. So you make the thought, it zooms in, and then you can manipulate your phone with this headset that's just reading your mind. Yeah, right. Like I'm like,
Product of the future going here.
Right, so we started talking of just the opportunity for it. It would seem, because we also talked about how difficult it is for a person to find a job, because there's just so many barriers to that. And so entrepreneurship just provides that opportunity for someone with a disability to, make a living, maybe do something they're passionate about, but also solve problems. So there's a lot of barriers for people with disabilities. The ADA is compliance. It isn't, this is a good solution to something. For myself, who's in a wheelchair, like there's so many ramps that are so steep. I always say it's my workout, to try to go up some of these ramps, because it's just a climb. So why not have people with disabilities find their own solutions, make some money, and just have that. And the thing is so like a lot of the products we use come from, they're not the original application. We get a lot of stuff from NASA that was designed for space, and then it finds its way into our just mainstream realm. That when I was watching his video on the thought controller thing, I'm like, I'd like to sit here. Maybe we can move a rock with it with my mind and just but just starting this chamber of commerce so that we can develop entrepreneurs and all along the spectrum of what a disability might be. There's a young lady that I know here in Tucson. She lives in a group home. She has limited cognitive capacity, but she has her own little business, hand shredding paper. And I send my documents to her. She sits there all day, just shred. She loves it. Charges $2 a bag. And it gives her purpose in life too, of like, I'm doing a thing, and she donates it to her group home so that they can like have parties and things. And like, so looking at that as part of it, all the way to just like a full-blown business, that usually we tend to get marginalized if you have a disability, and just saying like, no, you should be upfront. People need to know about these products a lot of times, and just being able to leverage more in society, because contributing financially and also as consumers. Like if you want us to go to your restaurant, I suggest you take away that 2-inch lip that I have trouble getting over, even though you say it's accessible. And so just trying. And so we're gonna try to arrange a meeting for next month if anyone is interested, because this is going to be a chamber. So that means we're going to need multiple voices, because we started thinking about what about this, what about that? And we decided let's hold off so that we can get more voices in, because this isn't my project. It isn't my business. If this was my business, I would create the rules, but this isn't. This is going to be for everyone. And so we should get everyone's perspective that wants to be involved. We're already starting the paperwork to formally form, and I think this has a lot of potentiality to not only, create new businesses, but just do some good in general in the community.
Amazing. So how far? Well, actually, yeah, Debbie, go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, I've got to go in a second, but so are you thinking in terms of it being like maybe various chapters so it can be in person and online? I mean, if you're organizing it with somebody who's in Austin, then I've got to figure that it's at least a portion of it is online.
I think that's kind of why we wanted to get the group together, to see who's not only who's interested, but who's willing to do the work. Because it's really easy to say, I have an idea, let's do this. Who's willing to actually put in the effort? And then we can see how we want to organize it. Definitely, because I'm here in Tucson, it's easier for me to do a Tucson organization. But also just seeing what's out there. I travel out to Texas, so the Austin is easy for me. But just let's see what the interest is, and we'll see what's going on and how we should organize it formally.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, I just wanted to share with you too, my vision is, yes, to get into Walmart and to have a birthday supply line for persons with disabilities, or have these products. And it's not that hard. One of the, I get asked a lot of these, but you should go on Shark Tank. Okay, we already auditioned, and Damon John knows who I am because I was on Zoom during the pandemic, who said puppets are in, and Walmart already. And I did sales and retail in college. Okay. I worked in a pharmacy, like a Walgreens, for many years. So they already carry the products. It's so easy. They just need to give it some shelf space, give them their code numbers, and position them, and give me some nice signs that say the Acts of Kindness series. And it's not that hard. And then my friend was like, Shark Tank. I go, well, Shark Tank means I have to borrow money from them. Okay. And it's a big stack of legal stuff. I go, they already have the tools to do it. Walmart has it. Okay. Same thing as Target. It's just a matter of creating again, an end cap or a birthday supply aisle, a clothing line, put the puppets there, put the books there. You know how many people would be so happy and joyful, and parents to do that? And then to find out you can get the books from Donors Choose. So it is a vision. And I'm interested in finding out more, Derek, to, share the voice for the hard of hearing deaf community. And but yeah, it's just it's going to happen, and Leon's going to help us make it happen, because he's going to be opening up 40 stores. So I'm excited to meet with who he's got on the table and share the vision and mission and get Waterflow, the whale, going for cool acts of kindness for climate change. And writing with Suzanne, and I'm open to receive that funding as soon as possible. I'm waiting, Leon. And also too, talking about, that mind thing. Audio Dome is a new company that's, I don't want to say, as a startup. It's like an Apple. They have a new headset that goes over the ears like bone conduction, and the deaf and hard of hearing people are able to hear more sounds, such as the beating of a drum in a marching band, speech. That's all. They have videos of them going out to put the products on their heads and get their feedback, watch their eyes light up, watch them sign, wow, this is weird, I can hear. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be a real game changer. And I thank Steve Ramona for introducing us to that company too as well. And I hope to partner with them as well. So 2024 is going to be a great year for persons with disability and accessibility. And again, we thank the World of Ability for letting us be here all together and share the good news, what we are doing, creating. Leon's bringing filters to 40 countries worldwide, especially you did the Hopi Navajo there in Arizona. So it's an Arizona day. And but yeah, it was great fun. And I even met a lady too that worked at I think it was Bank of America. She was buying some toys for some kids, and again, the cousin knew her, and so of course I had to pitch my story and give her the websites, and just putting it out there in Tucson, Arizona. So again, it was great fun, and we're here in San Carlos, Mexico, and had a great holiday. So Barbara is here. Where are you traveling, Barbara? Let's hear from you in the world of ability.
Now I'm going to be going to Santo Domingo.
Ooh.
That's going to be the Dominican Republic.
Yeah,
Wow.
Florida to the Dominican Republic. Oh boy.
And Tennessee to be with last time I was with the 1-year-old, the 2-year-old, and the 3-year-old all together for 9 days. At the end of the 9 days, oh my goodness, it's like I did not have strength to pull myself up from sitting down. It was like, but yeah, in my dream, let me get stronger than ever. It's like I didn't want to miss 1 minute of being with them. I didn't want to rest at all. I just thought all that time was precious. And the hot thing with going to the Dominican Republic, they want to show people in North America why we want to go there, why we'd want to retire there. So we're going to be treated to all kinds of beauty and pleasure. So that's yeah.
How long will you be there? That sounds wonderful.
We're supposed to get 6 days and 5 nights.
That's what a treat. Oh my gosh. Have you been there before?
Never.
Yeah.
But
me
I know
neither.
when I see pictures of like all these places, Brazil, and what have I seen, Costa Rica, I'm going to just see pictures and I'm like, oh, I'd love to be there. It looks so beautiful.
Excellent. Oh, well, I hope you have a wonderful time there. Soak it all in.
And I'll come back and I'll share and I'll get
Yeah, that would be awesome. So, and what all else has been happening in your world?
I've been winning speech contests.
Ooh.
I'd like to be strong enough to be able to put together something that would be Jews for Palestinians. It takes some courage to do that, but yeah, that's the speeches I've been giving is how every child on this planet, needs to be protected and loved and put in beautiful environments and need to feel, secure and worthy and educated. And yeah, we got to get together as a world, and say this is our top priority. and hopefully I'll be able to communicate really well and network with people and help make it happen. And you know, when I was in college, Alawi Absood, who was King Faisal's nephew, who for a while he was the fifth richest man on the planet. And when 9/11 happened, he tried to give $10 million to New York and they wouldn't take his money, you know. But he and I were good friends for a while. So I'd love to reconnect with him, you know, on this kind of a big project. But I have Marianne being an inspiration. I have all you guys being an inspiration to me about what's possible, what people can do. Right. So
Well,
that's
Amazing.
exactly. So there's children worldwide. We have 500 million people worldwide with a hearing loss, and
Mhm.
millions of moms and dads coming home from being of service who can't hear their own children or grandchildren. So I'm open to receiving any type of funding to bring my books into animation movies with the sign language characters and soundtrack by Lucy Lynch and The Perfect Wife. So please tell us about the Acts of Kindness series.
yeah, yeah, and should
I don't
be.
need to go to Shark Tank. I got your friend. Who could donate? Who could donate? I had the expense report created with Trevor Gibbs, and yeah, we're ready to rock and roll in 2024. Could you imagine that?
Yeah, it's like all these people know Mickey Mouse and Dr. Seuss, you know, and wouldn't it be good? Everyone should know what you're doing, right? Just
Exactly.
seems like a no-brainer. It seems like sense.
Well, and also the thing is during the pandemic, my fiber graphic design characters onto a diaper box, a cereal box. Dr. Liddy has all that intellectual property. So
Nice.
Yeah, and look forward to meeting with them. And that's what we've done. We've created the series. We've got 200 animal characters with a hearing loss or all coming together or being of service. This next one, we have a moose with multiple sclerosis. We have Down syndrome characters. So, you know, it's gonna benefit families with persons with different disabilities and children with disabilities. And it's gonna be great fun.
When I'm trying to tell people about this show, am I saying this is a radio show? What should I say? I'm not sure how to communicate about it.
Yeah, this particular show is a podcast. We do have a radio show on Wednesday nights as well, but this one is specifically a podcast that goes out live on several different platforms, including YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and wherever we can get it out there and wherever people are sharing it out to. It is World of Ability. So we are wanting to share this as far and wide as we can.
Mm-hmm. And I know two things that I'd love to say. My daughter and I were seeing something called Down for Romance. And it was a series. I don't know if anyone saw that on TV. And it was like a dating show like The Bachelor, but much kinder than that for people with Down syndrome. And my daughter and I were both in tears because we're watching people who could be so authentic and not afraid to express love and their gratitude for it. It's like that's worth watching. And then I'm learning things like I just learned how we all need to understand about how we want to be composted. I sent that to Emily, right? And you said you got it. Rather than be put in caskets or to be cremated, which is not good for the planet. Either one of those things is not really good for the planet. But we actually could make the last thing, we're doing on this planet, making it so who we are can enrich the planet, make it like more fertile and more beautiful, with what's left of our bodies. I just learned about that this week. So I'm excited to share that with others.
Yeah,
I actually want to be put in a catapult and see how far my body can be launched.
People do.
Well, we had a friend at the Unity Church of Hawaii, and it's a tree of life. And so somehow the cremation of him was put into the ground around a bulb with a tree and the memorials around it. So there are solutions out there. Yeah.
But I'm learning when we're being cremated, it's not good for the planet. It's not good. We're like polluting, what we're, creating, what we're putting in the air then. And the same thing when we're burying people. So I'm going to get better at communicating. I have to learn how to communicate, statistics and the dates and the reports, to help make more sense for everybody. But I'm finding I'm learning so much from TED Talks.
TED Talks are good.
Yeah. When I'm just walking, I'll put on TED Talks to listen to as I'm exercising, and we learn so much.
And actually, as you're talking about that, there's a woman that has been on the show before who has her own organization that's just getting going here called Let's Be Trees. And it's all about reforming the funeral industry. And it's very much related to what you're talking about.
Yes. Yeah.
That's amazing.
So instead of like poisoning or polluting the planet, we're actually making it more fertile, enriching it, bringing more life to it. Yeah.
Excellent.
Hey, Barbara, do you want to say anything about, I think, dance ability or something that you've said about before?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. When I got to go to the Shakespeare Festival, which I totally recommend everyone, do that as a vacation for yourself, in Ashland, Oregon. You have like people performing on the street, and these people, they were calling themselves, was it dance ability? I have to go back, but it was people that have problems like moving their bodies the way they would like to for different reasons, who want to be dancers, who want to be moving to the music. And it was so beautiful to see the people who are professional, trained dancers, how they're able to lift these people in the air and take them in their arms and move together, so that what they're creating is something that shows not just beauty, like physical beauty, like a ballet, but also unity of people caring about each other and making life more enjoyable, more pleasurable for each other, and feeling like you're doing something for other people. It's just very beautifully done. Yeah. And I had some video on that I sent to the World of Ability. And I hope we become a stronger networker, network, so we can network people more.
Yeah, because that came up earlier with Debbie was on here, and she was telling us about a dance studio that's near where she lives that has an option for differing abilities to be able to be part of what they're doing at that dance studio. I think, and she specifically was talking about somebody in a wheelchair that was participating, and we've got a friend as well that's really gotten into the competitive side of things with wheelchair dancing, and just amazing what's available. But it's all about knowing it's out there, because that's something that didn't cross her path until just those last couple of years, and she has taken it so far. It's just amazing when you find that piece that ends up sparking that passion. There's no stopping a person, so it's just a matter of figuring out what is that because honestly, I didn't know I was going to love water skiing the way I do. I mean, it's a sport. It's not my main thing in life, but it has led to so many things. If it wasn't for water skiing, I wouldn't be here having this conversation right now, which is a really weird way that we got here. But really, if it wasn't for what we did with water skiing, and then with adaptive water skiing, and then when things not going right at one point, and then to make things right, and how one thing led to the next, which turned into, here we are, World of Ability. It's amazing how you get to where you are in the world and in your life, right? And the things, you could take this path, you could take that path, and the way things come together. It's sometimes when you just sit back and think about it, it's perfect that Thanksgiving was last week, because that's when you're supposed to take that moment and say, or at least think about all the things you're thankful for. And this is something I'm incredibly thankful for. The wonderful people that have gathered here, and like all of you here today. I am so grateful for the support, the participation, the immense knowledge that you guys are sharing and experience. And it's absolutely wonderful. I do truly appreciate you guys.
Oh, thank you so much. And you get us to feel that. And that's so appreciated. Thank you.
So
today we were studying about how, if you light a candle for another person to light up someone else's path, like how you're lighting your own path, and how that expands in the world when people are caring about other people, how that brings so much fortune for everybody. Yeah, you can really speak on that.
I love it. So, well, it was Thanksgiving last week. Do you guys have anything that any stories, any fun that you did, or anything that you're particularly thankful for as you think back over this past year? I don't know who wants to go first. Derek, do you have anything?
So I kind of don't do holidays. So it was kind of nice that the wife just took some friends out to the movies, because then I got to just sit at home, watch football, and wait for leftovers to be delivered.
Oh,
And to
that
me,
sounds
for
nice.
me, right, for me, that's a great day. So very grateful for that. And we had a new pup, so got to spend time with her and was just enjoying the day. Nice and simple.
What kind of puppy did you get?
She is a Bouvier de Flanders.
Oh boy.
She's 5 months old and 50 pounds already.
Oh boy. I
She's
love
gonna be a
it.
big one.
And what's her name?
Her name is Bowie.
Bowie. Awesome. Fur babies are great.
Yes, yes. And it was great because when I first got married, my wife never had dogs. She was afraid of dogs. And I brought all my dogs into the house, and I had 4 at the time. And now with the dogs that we have now, she's the one that brought all 3 home. So now
Wow.
she's the problem. And I
You've tainted her in such a good way.
Yeah, you got her to warm up to dogs and no.
yeah. Yeah, and she was talking about just fostering one. And I'm like, no, we don't foster. We we bring them in forever. She's like, no, it's just gonna be for 3 days until we find someone for them. It's not gonna
It's
happen.
long enough to love them enough that you can't let them go.
Oh, as soon as I see them, like, it's funny because like with as many dogs as I've had, even out on the street, I'm like, oh, dog! Like it's the first time I've ever seen one. Like it's yeah. We don't foster. We bring them home.
Oh.
I've seen a couple of coyotes outside, but I'm like, he looks like he could be nice. What about that mountain lion? It's just a big cat, right? Can we
Ah,
Oh,
He's not going to be
Derek.
scratched behind his ears, right?
right? Then he scratches behind mine, and I don't have any ears.
That doesn't end well.
Oh, Derek.
you've seen the people on Facebook though that lions love them because they like help raise them as babies, animals that do, and then they'll come charging and they'll jump on them, and it's just all like love. And animals know how to be so careful. With I'm watching toddlers feeding baby goats and baby lambs, and it's like they're so careful they don't bite anybody's fingers. It's they're
They
able to
know. I totally agree because I've seen that too, where it's like big kid, little, or I'm sorry, big dog or big whatever animal, and little tiny kid, and thinking, oh my gosh, how it's gonna, and they're just as gentle as can be. They understand. It's like we were saying that earlier, that animals are smarter than we think. We even have a betta fish, and did you know you can train a betta to swim through a hoop?
Wow.
What?
I know.
You can do it. It does not take long either. They absolutely. If you don't believe me, look it up on YouTube. Training a betta to whatever you have to search exactly, but train your betta. You'll probably find it just with that. It's amazing. They're smart. It's a little fish.
And they have these reputations for being like fighting fish, but we found bettas in our community tanks would be protectors of other fish.
Really?
Yeah. If a little fish was being bullied, they come by the betta and they'd be okay.
Okay, that is really cool. I would never have guessed that because I've heard the same. Yeah, you just never know. Even with our critter friends, they're all individuals. They're all different, and sometimes it makes me just wish that there was a way we could truly speak their language so we could understand them more.
Yeah, getting there. And they say in Buddhism that by the vibration of human beings affects how the animals are able to respond. You know, that we help enlighten them as we enlighten ourselves.
Ooh, yeah,
Yeah,
love it.
believe that.
Excellent. Oh my goodness. So, well, see here, Derek, I'm going to throw it back your way again because I know you've got lots of fun stories. You've got lots of things that you're juggling around in your world, and I'm just curious, what's top of your mind right now? What do you have for us? I'm putting you on the spot. Like,
Well, actually, I'm traveling to Cleveland next week,
ooh,
which
For what?
I'm working on my doctorate.
Oh,
Good for
So
you.
we fly in. It's we fly in every other month for about a week to do our classes. The thought being, because my doctorate's in business, that if you're in a traditional program, you're just at school researching and grading papers for the people being paid. Um, and so then you don't really have a connection to what's going on in the business world. So they want us to keep working because that's where our research is going to come from. So I will be there. I'm already scared because I saw things like 25 degrees. Um,
yeah, you're
yeah,
coming
well,
north.
yeah, being from Arizona. It's Arizona, man.
yeah.
What's the temperature like by you today?
So right now it is chilly. It's 60 degrees. Um, but it's sunny, not a cloud in the sky. I actually, I'll after this, I'll go outside, and outside will be nicer than it is inside the house.
Mhm.
So
Awesome.
it's a rough winter, but I'm sure we will make our way through it. As long as it doesn't go below 50, we'll be able to hopefully survive.
Yeah, so around here it's like 32 to 35, somewhere in there right now. We actually were out. I should tell you a quick story about this morning.
Oh,
So, we're in the water ski club,
yeah.
and uh we actually were oh I think Marianne looks like she lost her yeah, we appreciate Marianne being here. I'm sorry we just lost her, but she was saying goodbye. Um so with our ski club, one of the fun things that we do for our community is for the food pantry, we literally collect a boatload of food. So we had a boat there, and we were handing out little slips of paper to everybody walking in the grocery store and just saying, "Hey, if you want to pick any of these items on here, if you desire to help us out and donate to the food pantry, we are making it as easy as we can. We're putting the food in the boat, getting that boatload of food, and dropped it off then afterwards at our local food pantry. And we had so much fun. It's always a good time. We're out there with jingle bells and Santa hats and music playing and getting a chance to talk to the local folks that are coming and going. And it's such a nice thing to be able to do that and to be able to give back, because that's the community where we put on ski shows all summer long, and people are coming and supporting us. So it's one of the things, at least, that we can do that's really easy and really fun. And it makes a difference in the community. Sometimes everybody thinks, oh my gosh, it's so hard to make a difference. And really, no, it's not hard at all. It just takes a little bit of effort and an idea, and act on it. Go do something.
So along those lines, I was traveling maybe a couple of weeks ago. I was in Atlanta. And so my background, like growing up, I was kind of brought up in the you dominate others, show them how much power you have. And,
Mhm.
fortunately, I was able to break out of that. But I was sitting in the airport, and I was thinking about that concept of power. And I'm like, how much more powerful is it to make someone's day good? And so I had a long layover. And so I'm just going around to like people cleaning up the airport and just like, how's your day? How's it going? And just smiling and like asking them. They're telling me stories and it's great. And just it's that, like, just like you said, like we sometimes we think we can't make a difference, but just smiling at someone and taking 5 minutes hear their story of what's going on in their life or something. I love it when someone just opens up and they're so proud of something. And it's especially when it's something that we would consider like small, but they're just so proud. Like someone telling about their grandson, just, oh my goodness, he scored a goal and it was so exciting. And it's like,
Mhm.
that's awesome. Like that's just awesome. And to give them one more ear to share that too. Like I think that's power.
That's huge. You know how easy it is to do something like that.
Yeah.
How hard was it for you to do that? Was that really
No,
difficult?
no, and it made me like if I wasn't doing that, I'd just be sitting in an airport in Atlanta thinking about how uncomfortable I am and oh my goodness, why do I gotta wait around? And I felt like I was going around making friends, which was
Yeah.
And you
exciting.
made their day. They got to share some good news and do something
Yeah.
fun like that. I love that.
And then they told me all the great places to go eat. So
Well,
Even better.
I just I want to share with you, it's 74 here in San Carlos, Mexico. I just put the floaty bed there to relax
oh,
for
wow.
that. And yeah, so we're working hard down here in San Carlos.
I
So-
love it.
And my
my
little
God.
R&R.
Absolutely
But we
love
are.
it.
We are.
Nice. It looks nice.
It looks
So
beautiful.
when you started talking about your water ski club, I thought you were gonna say, and we went out this morning.
Cold plunge.
I do have my limits. However, there's people in our club. There was one year, oh gosh, usually the lakes are all frozen over at New Year's, right? Around here anyway, and it was probably 2, 3, 4, I don't know, sometime in the last handful of years, we had a little warm stretch and the lake was actually open on New Year's. I tell you, there are pictures of people from our team that actually built a pyramid on the water.
No.
Oh yeah. It was crazy. I'm so glad. It's one of those, I would love to be able to say I did that, but I'm okay that I didn't. The water's still cold. Come on.
Yeah.
But no, they did it. It was awesome. That's that whole thing. When you've got a passion for something and you have the opportunity, gotta take it.
But when the
Yeah.
water is 20 degrees.
Yeah,
But they're saying
January,
that's
January in
medicine.
Wisconsin. In
I-
January
I've-
in Wisconsin, I would hope it'd be cold.
Very.
I've actually need to make my way up there. I've never been in Wisconsin.
Well, we could
Come on,
introduce-
Derek. Yeah, you're welcome to come visit anytime.
I will. Maybe I will. Yeah, maybe that'll be a thing. Then get out
Well,
of the water
Derek,
skis.
you're gonna be in Ohio. Ohio is just around the whatever from Wisconsin. So
From the-
It's only like 3 states away instead of 8 or whatever
Yeah.
it is.
I think I need to be there though when the water's warm.
The summer, we'll take you skiing.
Yeah. All right. I will take you
Yeah,
up on
yeah.
that.
and Derek, they have a water ski show every Thursday during the summer. So you're welcome to attend the show.
And there's cheese curds, right?
Everywhere. Deep fried or raw, nice and squeaky. Do you know the best cheese curds are the ones that are squeaky?
I've did not know.
You are definitely not from Wisconsin then. That does it.
Well, I went to school in Indiana and I grew up in Los Angeles. And one of the people would talk to me about farms all the time. And I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. They're like, you didn't, and I remember people got offended because I asked, they kept talking. I'm like, so what's the FFA? And they're like, "How- you don't know? I'm like, I grew up in Los Angeles. Like, we don't know what a farm is. Like,
Yup.
yeah.
Yeah, like regional differences.
It is fun. Really, we don't know where someone else has been. What has the walk been in their life? What have they seen? What have they done? People don't, and that's part of the fun. You get to know each other. And I definitely have different experience than everybody else on here, and to be able to share and wherever we all came from, we've got different stories we can tell. We have different pieces. See, I know what FFA stands for. So, it makes life fun. It totally getting to share. It's part of what we're here for.
So on Thanksgiving Day, I was walking down with my roommate, and we're walking down to Tino's house for Thanksgiving dinner, and there was two wild horses, a mother and a calf, and I go, oh, that's a sign of good luck. So not only that, we have the dogs on the roof, we have wild horses walking around here. And anyway, yeah, it's just kind of being in nature, but kind of you got your water and mountains, and had a little climate change here, but we're adapting, and got a beautiful place, affordable here, and yeah, so come down to San Carlos. But I hope to go sailing, to go see the whale watch, to see the orcas. That's my goal, is to see the orcas this winter. So
Sounds
that will be a treat.
amazing.
Yes. So, well, thank you very much, everybody. I gotta go because I gotta get ready for my Barbie party. Me in the limo, and we're
Fun being
taking
Barbie.
the
I'm
captain
kinda
and taking the captain out too. So it's a white limo with a pink roof. So come on, Barbie, let's go party.
And you're gonna be Barbie?
Huh?
You're gonna be Barbie?
I'm gonna. Yeah, I have a pink Barbie dress, and my roommate's a hairstylist from Las Vegas, so she's got the hair stuff up. So my hair's in here right now, and
Nice.
yeah, so he's got a client that wants to go to a birthday party, so I got to be I guess the I don't know,
Represent.
not the chauffeur. I'm the sidekick. I like being the sidekick.
Sounds great.
First mate, sidekick, you name it, Jackie of all trades.
There we go.
So
We want
tonight's
pictures.
Barbie. But I go by Marianne of Waikiki. It's my sign language name, my book author name. And again, thank you, World of Ability. We'll talk to you next week with all the updates. And Mr. Roscoff, I'm speaking with Trevor Gibbs Monday. So we're going to be investigating that the SAM's Gov for grants. So hopefully you can have a one-on-one with us also, so we can research where we can get grant funding. And Barbara, you got friends that could sponsor us too. It's good. It would be amazing to, get the funding and see the vision and mission happen. And it's not about me. It's for 500 million people with a hearing loss worldwide, and parents with persons with disabilities and children with disabilities. It's great stories for ocean cleanup, anti-bullying, and I'm working on the climate change book with my co-writer Suzanne Sims. So aloha, adios, amigos and amigas, and thank you for the opportunity, Tucson, Arizona. Aloha.
Yay.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Marianne. Have so much fun. That sounds great.
Sounds like fun.
Wouldn't everybody like to be Barbie for a day? Come on, that sounds amazing.
And according to the Barbie movie, all the Kens would like to do that too.
Yep. Awesome. So yeah, to be able to go and do something as fun as that, I do like that so much. When's the last time you guys got to dress up for something like that?
Well, I got taken to the Barbie movie and we had to all dress up in pink.
Oh, you did? Awesome.
It's said that when we start like knowing each other's like cultures and differences, and we start really like applauding the strengths that we see in each other and have real compassion for any weaknesses, that the world's going to become more colorful, more fragrant, more delicious, than more pleasurable than it's ever been before. I know that. I can see that. I feel that.
Awesome. Wow. When you think about it and put it in those terms, like, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, so thinking, my mind's coming back around to what you were talking earlier, Derek, about the Chamber of Commerce and how to connect into. So if anybody was wanting to make a difference with that and connect with that whole idea, how would they do that?
I think best thing would be to add me on LinkedIn and just shoot me out a message. LinkedIn is I spend way too much time on there, especially with the audio rooms now. Like I'm usually on there or have it playing in the background.
Mm.
Wait. What's an audio room on LinkedIn? I'm on LinkedIn a lot, but not that much. So
Oh,
fill me in. I'm missing something here.
I thought you knew. I thought you did them.
It could just Sue. It's sort of like Clubhouse, but on LinkedIn. It's where you like it. It's like an event where you have the speakers and you're just like listening.
Yeah, yeah, and
You go to
it's
LinkedIn and then what do you do? Like if you get on LinkedIn, how do you get there?
so you can usually just go under events,
Mhm.
and there's usually someone with an event. So it's just kind of good networking, especially if you're just showing up a lot, people recognize you, and so it's and you can click on, so there's no camera, so you could just be laying in bed. Um, and then you can raise your hand to be brought up to what they call the stage, and then you can like share if the hosts are taking speakers, or but
Mhm.
it's just a new platform, and it's becoming really popular. So like I'll do it instead of listening to the radio, is I'll just have a listening room going on in the background.
And so
Mhm.
they can, whoever's is in charge of that room, they can see you're there. And
Yeah.
can you see other people that are there too? But you're saying there's no camera, so it's literally you're just seeing your name
So
or
it'll
your
have your
profile.
little avatar there. And so
Mm.
yeah, and normally kind of what's developed is kind of the culture is at some point in the show, the host will take a break and like start naming everyone, like thanking everyone in the room. So yeah, there's some really interesting there's one that I kind of leave in the background. It's on insomnia, so Friday nights for like until they fall asleep, which sometimes I hear it. I don't have insomnia, so I almost feel bad. I'm leaving now. I'm going to bed. But they'll just kind of sit and talk about that. Like last night they were talking about artworks that were inspired by the artist Insomnia. And then at some point it'll take a left turn, and then it'll be like, I just wanted to speak about this thing. But one of the things that someone brought it up that's really nice about them is that it creates like a safe space. Like you
Mhm.
get to know everyone there, and it's just a nice safe space to talk. Like that insomnia one, people will just start talking about like, this is what's going on in my life. And it's just like, okay, we're here to listen. So it's just,
That's awesome.
and they become really popular. So
Wow.
it's
So and it's something you hop into, right? You
yeah.
enter like the virtual room. So it's not like it's just being broadcast out. Like if you're scrolling, you're not going to be coming across the live session
Sometimes,
on your feed
so
necessarily.
if they post it as an event, it'll come into your stream.
Okay.
So I repost all the ones that I'm in, so it should be coming up in my stream a lot. Like, because if I
Okay.
attend one, I like to share. The thing that I
Mhm.
really like about them is because I know there's one version where you can kind of see what people are doing, kind of like when you do the midday
Oh,
shakedown.
yep.
But on these, you can kind of just minimize it, and you can keep doing stuff on LinkedIn. Whereas like a lot
Gotcha.
with other formats, it just you leave that page. So a
Yeah,
lot of
so
times
so
I'll
this
meet new people and talk
so
to them while we're talking about it.
so when you go into audio event, it comes up uh uh like the LinkedIn chat. It comes up like the window, like it would be. No, it looks like it would be like a LinkedIn chat message thing, but it's really the audio event.
Gotcha.
That's how you can like minimize it and do other stuff on LinkedIn. Until you close LinkedIn, then you'll still be able to hear it. But
Yeah.
Mhm.
So now you got me thinking because we have, we do Shakedown. I wonder if that would be a way that we could grow our community that we're doing with Shakedown. I wonder if that would be a possibility, maybe.
Well, one of the things I noticed is like, so I just happened to attend a certain event, and now I've met a lot of people in that circle. So it's really helped with like networking. Um, so yeah, so just another option, and it's become really popular.
Awesome. Yeah, because I know like Emily
Awesome.
mentioned Clubhouse. That was an app, a platform that was really popular for a while, and now it seems like it's backed off a little bit. I don't know why, but because some of the ones that I was more active on with Clubhouse, aren't so active anymore. And a lot of the people I used to see, are just not there anymore. And I don't know if it's just a timing thing or if it really is that people are kind of backing off on that. I mean, maybe if LinkedIn is creating something that might just be more convenient. I'm not sure. Or maybe I have a misperception because I don't want to give a bad name or anything or bad review because I liked Clubhouse. It's just seems like I'm not seeing as many people as I used to. So
I
I don't know
know
if
for me, like it was because you couldn't go on unless you had an iPhone for a while. And then by the time they said, "Oh no, now it's anyone," I was all right, kind of over
yeah.
it.
And actually, with the last update they did, you had to have a certain whatever your system version, whatever your version was, they had upgraded their stuff. And I still have an old version on my phone because my phone's like really full. There's so much stuff on there. I would need to clear out a lot of stuff in order for me to upgrade to the most current version. So I can't use Clubhouse on my phone anymore because it won't work now. So
Yeah.
there's Club Deck. I can do that on my computer, but it feels clunky compared to the phone was kind of slick. So
Well,
it,
the audio rooms for LinkedIn work pretty well on the phone app too. So I turn into an old man when it comes to apps because someone will be like, "Oh, just add this app." I'm like, I don't want another app. Like I'm just done. So yeah, when someone's like, "Add Clubhouse," and I tried it once, and then I'm like, "Okay, it's not doing it. It's off. We'll
yep,
try it again." No, there's no try again. Like,
already done.
yeah. It's just I'm not a 13-year-old. I don't need 20 million apps on my phone. Back in my day, we only had 5 apps.
Awesome. So well, here I'm gonna throw another question out for you guys. It is officially December. Holiday season coming up here. I know a lot of people celebrate in different ways, different aspects, different whatever. For us, we do a lot of family time. We do celebrate. We go to church. We do all that. We'll be going Christmas caroling in a couple of weeks. Believe it or not, we have a friend. Well, actually, he's a shirt tail relative that he gets a group together every year on like a Saturday night. Actually have to look. I think it's like the 9th. I think it's next week we go, and we meet somewhere in the local town, and off we go. He has songbooks. We go walking. We have a flashlight. We go door to door knocking on doors. And we got this big group of us. Sometimes it's a small group, but last year it was like 20 of us knocking on the door, and we just start singing. And it is amazing how there's always a couple that are like, no, thanks, that's fine. But almost everywhere we go, people are like, this is so cool. They'll be on the phone, like, you won't believe what's going on. They're holding the phone out. They're like, hey, come to the door. They're calling everybody in the house to the front door. So Christmas caroling's fun. You don't have to be good at it. Everybody goes and has a good time, and the bigger the group, the less pressure. So
Yeah.
it's fun. So if that's something you ever wanted to do, get a few friends. But just wanted to throw it out there. What are you most looking forward to in this next month? Is there something? Is it holiday related? Is it maybe not? But what's coming up for you guys? Actually, Barbara, you want to start?
Sure. For me, it is seeing grandchildren.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, I'm going to be going to the Dominican Republic. I think I shared that too. Well,
That's
they're
big.
going to try to show us why we want to become expatriates from the USA and we want to go, to the Dominican Republic because it'll be cheaper and we'll have better health care. And, that's what different countries are doing right now. We're going to get to do that. But being with the 3 grandchildren, the 1-year-old, the 2-year-old, and the one who was 3 years old just a couple of weeks ago. And that was amazing. It took so much energy to try to be there for these 3 kids, at those ages, that I was there 9 days and I started not being able to sit up or down. After a while, it's like, oh, I need to take a break. But to go back there again and and hopefully find myself like stronger and even more capable. But the love is it's real. They'll talk about like you find deeper depths to your heart, and I hope to do that And I have a story about Christmas caroling where my friends invited me to go Christmas caroling with them. And I was all excited. I was all happy. I know all the Christmas songs, and I went to be with them. And they had learned all these like Jewish songs, Hanukkah songs that they thought, they would be making me happy and, treating me. But I didn't know any of those.
That's really sweet though. How nice is that?
That was nice.
Awesome. So Derek, how about you? What are you looking forward to this next month? So I know you said you don't do holidays. All good.
Yeah, but so on Christmas, we are actually, so here in Tucson, there's a place called the Desert Museum. And we love going there, which is really funny because it's all the animals that we just see in our backyard anyway. But we go there and we love it. They have a Christmas like lunch. So and it's usually really creative food. Like it's stuff that we wouldn't cook at home. So we just go there and enjoy. Uh, like my wife's my best friend, so just being able to spend time with her is where I'm happy. And so we go out and spend some time out there and come back home to the dogs and just enjoy the day.
That sounds awesome.
So nice to hear that.
Of course,
I
do
would
have to
never
ask,
admit that to her though.
we can replay this. You've been recorded. You're stuck now. But you got me curious. What kind of critters do you have showing up in your backyard? Being here
Like
in Arizona is different than us.
do you know what a javelina is?
No.
Oh, ooh, they're fun. So they look like wild pigs,
Oh, jeez. That's not what my head was at all. Wild.
but it gets better. They're actually not related to pigs, they're actually related to rodents. So it's like this giant pig rat. They,
I like to know.
Thank you for the visual, Derek.
so, they're cute, and I think, and we have coyotes and prairie dogs and every kind of spider and snake that wants to kill you. They're
Ooh, see, that part I would like. Oh my gosh, I'm like searching Javelina. Wow. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, so they'll travel,
bring it back
especially when
here.
it rains. They go around looking for water. So we actually created like a little cobblestone area because we have about an acre. So that when it does rain, it helps. Yep, that's the one.
I love it.
Yeah. So like it helps capture water so that the animals around here can go and have a little drink because it's hard to find water around here. So we do exactly what you're not supposed to do. We feed and water the wildlife.
Oh, good for you.
And you have wildlife then, because
Yeah.
that's actually last weekend when we were up by my parents up north. It's deer hunting season around here, right? It was. And so you can hunt until dark or around, I don't know if it's exactly sundown, I think is when you have to stop. Guess what shows up right outside their window? Let me find it. Because I took pictures because I'm like, oh my gosh, they're never this close.
Pictures, good.
How many pictures did I take since last weekend? Good grief. Let's see. There's one. Which one? This one. This one you can actually see pretty well. Oh, except I got my background on.
Oh,
Can you see that? It's just
yeah.
it's a white tail. It's a doe, and she was that the brown that you were seeing there is the edge of the window. It's right outside the window of the house. It was right there. Of course, eating in my mom's flower garden, which it's winterish now, so the garden's done, but the doe was loving it out there. And at least my dad's at the point, I mean, he's always been a hunter, but said he's not getting any does because this doe and the fawns and all that, they come around all year long. He's like, he's not shooting them. If a buck came by, that's another story
That-
because that's fair game. But he didn't see one this year, and that's all good. But it's so fun to see the little critters out there and big critters because she's gorgeous. That was beautiful. So I totally appreciate what you're saying about the wildlife because we do have a lot around where we live here too. Like walking was it 2 nights ago I was walking the dog and there were 3 does that were, I don't know, maybe 20 feet away in the yard. It was dark out already, so they just kind of watched us. Luckily, our dog doesn't care about the deer now. If it was a squirrel, game
Oh, yeah,
over. She's
squirrel was
going.
Yeah.
But the deer, she's like, eh. She didn't care, and the deer just kind of watched us. They didn't move really. They're just like, huh, you're people. They're so fun to watch. I love all the critters.
Yeah, we actually put a big window. It's almost an entire wall in our living room because we like to just sit out there and watch everyone go. Oh, and we have tons of quails, like just tons of them. So they go in their little line. Very cute. But I have a story about a coyote.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I think we were like 3 days married, and I call my wife because I had found a coyote pup in the road. And it had blood on it, and I waited a while because I didn't want to go in case mommy, but no one was showing up. So I wrapped it up in a coat and I start driving home and I call my wife and I'm like, hypothetically, what do I do if I find a coyote pup? And she's like, I know you. Don't you dare bring home a coyote. And our driveway is just covered in gravel. So you can hear whenever anyone drives up and I hit the driveway. She's like, is that you coming up with a coyote? I'm like, not really. And she's like, well, let me get something to wrap Albert in. I'm like, who's Albert? She's like, well, our coyote needs a name. And so we eventually get it to a shelter, and they actually gave us an option of where he could be released. And so we picked an area, and so now we have this little story that we made up of how he got released, and now he's going to college. And every time we see a coyote, we're like, "Is that Albert? No, that's not Albert. Not pretty enough." So
I love that. That's awesome.
so somewhere out there, we have our little coyote.
Nice.
And he appreciates you more than you know.
Yeah, Philbert is out there somehow hearing this.
Yeah, I keep seeing on Facebook where animals that get rescued and they keep coming back to the person that rescued them, like once to express their gratitude. I see that again and again.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's
I love it.
And this like sanctuary we took them to, they actually invited us back to take a full tour. And it's great. Like they have a bobcat that had a traumatic brain injury. So it could never be released.
Wow.
So it was kind of and then they had an albino quail. And they're like, yeah, we can't release the albino quail because it would die. Some hawk would pick it up immediately.
Yeah.
And so it's just kind of interesting to see all the animals that they had there, and how they decided who could be released and who couldn't. And so we stop by every once in a while when we go to Costco. We'll pick up extra stuff to go help them out because
nice.
It's the place you can go and drop animals off and there's no charge and they just take them in. So we're always trying to be supportive of them.
That's awesome. Oh, I'm sure they appreciate it because that place like that needs all the support they can get.
Yeah. So
I'm glad you rescued Albert. They need Albert to be.
I'll see if I can get him on the show next time.
Yeah, that'd be great. Get him his own square. Awesome. And actually, Emily, we didn't get around to you yet. What are you most looking forward to this month?
I don't know, just being with family and just trying to be with family and everything. So
excellent. I think that it sounds like it goes with everyone here. We all value our time with those that we love, and it's part of what keeps people together, having that meaningful relationships, finding meaning in what we all do. And you guys mean a lot to me here. I always, like I said,
Oh,
that's one of those things that I'm so thankful for. All the so amazing people that we've met and have been here. When I think back over all this time that we've been doing World of Ability and all like with the networking groups that we've been part of and business groups, all these things that I never in my wildest dreams thought would lead to where we are right now, and that we'd have these chances to have these fun conversations, and that you guys would all are so willing to share of yourselves here. Thank you so much. Any last thoughts? Because I think we're going to be signing off here, but I just want to make sure, anybody have any last thoughts? If you want to share any contact info or any of that, you're welcome to, but I just want to open the floor one more time here before we sign off.
I want to share how deeply I appreciate you. You're such a bright light in the world, and I'm so grateful to be able to interact with you. Thank you.
Oh, you're awesome. Thank you, Barbara.
Likewise.
And I'm just meeting Derek.
I wanted, Marianne mentioned wanting to go see the orcas, so I just wanted to close with I am absolutely terrified of orcas. It is literally my nightmare.
Oh no.
So even just hearing the word, I was like, and as a teenager, my friends knew this. So in Los Angeles, the police cars are black and white. So if a police car ever passed by, they're like, hey, it's an orca. Oh.
Oh, no.
Just thought I'd throw that info out there just so you know how to get to me.
Your friends are,
police car now. I'm gonna be thinking orca.
yeah, Derek, your friends were so nice to you, weren't they?
Yeah. No, but that's how we are. That's how
it works. You know, they care because they're,
right.
focusing on
Yeah.
all-
Yeah, they still love you.
Being mean to each other is how we show we love each other.
that sometimes is part of it.
We're working on it.
I love it. Oh, you guys are the best. Thank you so much for being here. And for all with World of Ability here, we look forward to next week. We look forward to all that the future holds here for all of us. And we, in the spirit again of Thanksgiving, I truly am thankful. So for all that everybody does,